And so this is it's a radio. You ain't got to. I mean, it's just natural is better. So you can keep the dialogue. What's up, Facebook family? Yeah, man, I love this, man. This is yeah, God is. Yeah, I thought about doing it forever. Once I got the opportunity to do it.
There you go.
When I was approached to do it. Hey, good morning, Melanie. One of my Dynamite strong supporters. Appreciate you, Melanie. Love you. There they go. There go my Facebook crew. Sister Donna. Hey, Nicole. Eric Fuller, I'm mad at you, man. I ain't got a phone call from you in 400 years. What's up, sis? What's up, Janae? Yeah, you guys know Coach Archie love the Hearts. Hey, the Hearts is like a standing ovation for me. When I see them Hearts. What's up, Doris? Hi, Miss Shantae. We about to get this show started. Hey, guys, I got some new intro music. Watch this. Good morning, Sure. Sure, I'm sorry I didn't call you yesterday. I was kind of busy. This is my new intro music. Hey, wait a minute.
On the Archie Beslow radio show, he cares, he shares, he knows. The journey of our youth is in our
Y'all like that?
So tell your family and tell your friends that the word on the street is we all should listen in. So let's figure it out on the Archie Beslow radio show.
That's right. Archie got a radio show, got intro music. What? Watch this ending, though. Watch this ending. You don't like the ending, Tony? What, Tony? Not yet. Really? Y'all gonna tell me what to say? Uh-oh. See, now what's going on? Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. My engineer thinks she's my boss. She about to, okay. Here we go. Let's figure it out. Y'all like that? Y'all like that? I'm trying to tell y'all. Yeah. Well, happy Sunday. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's well. My Facebook family, thanks for joining in. In the studio today, I have the Dynamite Brothers from Galilee Church. Two outstanding brothers here. And their organization is called Men Under Construction. Guys, come up and introduce yourself to the world.
Well, hello, Facebook family.
Yeah, talking to Mike.
Hello, Facebook family. My name is Dimitri Cornegay. I'm born and raised Washington, D.C., Calvin Coolidge Senior High School in Washington, D.C. I have a master's degree in counseling psychology, a doctorate degree in counseling, education, and supervision. I currently work as a psychotherapist, and I'm also a professor at Bowie State University and Johns Hopkins.
Outstanding. All right. Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
I know this young man here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andre Williams. I'm a former MPD sergeant, detective, homicide officer. I am currently working with Homeland Security, and I love the citizens of the District of Columbia.
Amen.
I am here working with Men Under Construction to help the youth of this city, which I love, and I'm here to help anybody I can to help get our youth on the right track.
Amen. All right. So the Archie Beslow radio show, Let's Figure It Out, is about figuring it out. So we're going to get right into it. And you also brought two dynamite young men with you to the show this evening. I'm going to have them come on air very soon. So let's talk about Men Under Construction. Sure. Why do we have Men Under Construction, their success rate, and the importance of mentoring.
Okay, well, if I may, Men Under Construction was begun in 1992. Like Andre, I also was a police officer with the Montgomery County Police Department, which is situated just outside of the District of Columbia. Mm-hmm. I was a police officer from 1983 to 2014. From 1987 to 1992, I was a member of the SWAT team. Okay. And at that time, in this particular area, the Washington metropolitan area, we were hitting a lot of houses, crack houses, things of that nature. And it dawned on me when I was looking, this is not, I'm locking up so many young black kids. Right. And it's like, it hurt, and I'm thinking, what can we do about this? And it kept bothering me until I found myself asking their parents questions, asking judges, defense attorneys, people like that. And it got to the degree where you come to that bridge where you say somebody ought to do something, and you take that somebody out of the sentence and say I ought to do something. Amen. You have the argument with whatever God you believe in. About, well, what am I supposed to do? You start giving them the Moses treatment. In other words, I can't speak. Nobody's going to listen to me. Who am I? Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
If somebody ought to do something, and God said, I did do something. I made you.
Amen.
And so I went to my pastor at the time, who was the late Reverend Dr. Eugene Weathers at Galilee Baptist Church. And I said, if you can give me a classroom, just a couple of successive Saturdays,
Awesome.
we'll teach things like how to sit like a king, how to speak,
Awesome.
how to act, how to get into places and get the resources so you'll have more options than to just sling
Yes, sir.
stuff on the corner.
Yes, sir.
And we started in 1992, and we were so successful that we had a spring and a fall class.
Okay.
And then, but it got to be too much because I had my own child
Yes,
that
sir.
I had to take care
Okay.
of, and so did the teachers.
Yes, sir.
And so the idea was we made sure it was free. You didn't have to be a church member. All you had to do is show up, be 13 years of age or older, because we do talk about sex. We talk about what's expected of you and the responsibilities that come along with that. And you learn how to treat your significant other, all those things, paying bills, personal money management,
Yes.
how to dress for success,
Yes.
how to carry yourself, how to speak, how to run your own business if you want to do that, how to go to college. If you don't want to go to college, then you can go into HVAC, you can go into electrician, you can electricity, you can go into plumbing. Yet those are people that are self-employed, most of them, and yet, last time a guy came to fix my furnace, cost me $145 before he got out of the car.
Wow.
So that kind of thing, when you learn that, and you learn, the idea is with the mentoring piece.
Yes.
Now you become a mentor too, because realizing, hey, we're older.
We're
We're
older.
getting older. All of
Yes.
us are getting older. Good Lord, when the creek don't rise. So what's going to happen is, I have to throw you the keys someday, and you're going to have to run this.
We have to coach people up. Amen.
Exactly.
Yes,
It's
sir.
going to be their turn. So you give them a turn so they can turn around and coach someone else, and so on and so on and so on.
Right.
And that's how it's done.
So before we go to you, Dre, so D, what are your struggles? And you and I, we're all are mentors. And I'm going to actually get into it more in depth about what I think a mentor should bring to the table. And I also want you guys to elaborate. I think it's phenomenal what you guys are doing, and I'm actually take my hat off to you guys. And for doing it for so long, it speaks volumes to your belief in God, and it speaks volumes to how you want our young men to turn out.
Exactly.
A lot of people that are mentors, and when I talk about mentors, I'm never shooting anybody down.
Right.
But I always come from a place that I get feedback from a lot of kids. So I'm that mentor that's in the street. When kids would come to me and say, well, Coach Archie, I want this, but people are telling me this, but the person that are telling me this, he's doing that. Or the lady that's telling me this, she's doing this. So how can I trust what she's saying or trust what he's saying when every day they're showing me something different? So why should I act a certain way when you're not demonstrating to me how I should act? And my answer to that always, and that's why it's so important for us to actually coach up people that talk to our kids. And I always challenge you guys when you go to the barbershop, don't always talk about LeBron James and talk about
Sports.
like the thing that's out now is like the Black Panther movie. Mind you, it was a cool movie. I get it. But it hurts my heart that people put so much time and energy into a movie and worrying about the numbers and the records that they're breaking when your son or daughter is struggling with algebra.
Correct.
Or English.
Right.
Or geometry.
Correct.
Or their personal hygiene. Do you get that excited about that? Do you pick up the phone and call a family member of a kid that's doing well in school, that has great hygiene? Or are you too embarrassed to share those stories with other people that are doing well?
Right.
I think what makes it curious is a lot of people don't know how. And they assume that you know these things already. See, a lot of times, like we said, the Rites of Passage program for men under construction, which is what it's called, a men under construction program, it teaches those things that a lot of people take for granted.
Yes.
And I think when you talk about personal hygiene, a lot of kids have never learned. You learn what you model, you imitate what you see. And if you don't see those things, you don't see people getting up and regularly cleaning themselves, regularly brushing their teeth, regularly taking a shower every night or in the morning before they go out, then they don't know that.
Well, my grandmother. hey, we all know how grandmothers was back in the day.
Exactly.
My grandmother taught me how to properly bathe.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, sit your butt in this tub.
Oh, yes.
My grandmother would sit in, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
And we've gone so far away from actually teaching our kids everything that we know.
Right.
Man, please, from tying your shoes to how to eat, just we were taught everything.
Exactly.
Right.
Now it's
The
like
whole village.
The whole village.
The whole
Everybody
village.
taught you.
I'm
It was
going to jump in a minute.
Man, you was getting self-checked.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere you walked, it was,
Oh, yeah.
it was like a pinball machine.
Exactly.
You was just dinging off everything.
Right.
But we have come to a place now that the mentors, we are in the forefront, but a lot of people are not using us.
Exactly.
And that's my frustration. My frustration is God has blessed me and has armed me with so many tools to help families, just like you guys. Now, you guys you've proven, your track record went from the 90s and it's still going on. Your success rate is very high.
We'll start again. As a matter of fact, we'll start again in a couple of weeks, March 17th at the church. It's free. You don't have to be. You don't have to be a church member. You don't have to be a tither. All you have to do is have a young man who is 13 years of age or older.
Amen.
Who can write because he's going to take notes.
Bring a writing utensil.
Bring a writing utensil and a notebook because of the fact that you're going to put information in your handwriting.
Right.
That's good. That you're going to have. It's going to last you the rest of your life. Believe it or not, we've had kids in jail who didn't listen. Then they wanted to listen when they had the time, and then they called us back and said, "Can you tell me some of those things you told me?
All right.
The things you said, like the fact you aren't where you want to be, should be enough motivation."
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold that thought. We're gonna come right back after this break. Again, guys, thank you for listening to WL 95.9 FM, 1450 AM, WLDCnews.com, where information is power. Yes, this is the Archie Beslow Radio Show. Let's figure it out. We'll be right back.
At home, at work, or in your car.
Where'd you get the theme music?
So Brother D asked me I get the theme music. So I play with Air Raid band.
Oh, right.
And we just so happen to have I know, right here. So I got a Dynamite keyboard player in the name of Pete. My man Pete. Yeah, Pete put that thing together.
First time I've been with somebody's got their own theme music.
Got your own thing. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what you. Hey, man. That's what you.
Every superhero should have their theme music. Right.
So yeah, give me them hearts. What them hearts at? Can I get some hearts? I'm demanding 5 hearts. Hit the heart button. Well, fine. The heck with y'all then. Y'all ain't got to hit it. I hit my own heart. But so mentoring to me. So my title was Coach to Mentor. Mentoring is mandatory, not an option. That's my sole organization.
Correct.
Eventually it will be. Yeah.
Correct.
Right. So it's like if people can buy into.
There go your heart.
There go my heart. Thank you. I know that's. I know who. There you go. Thank you, Shantae. Shantae, no. If people will understand the time that we put into these kids on a daily basis,
It takes a lot of work.
and we put our family second.
A lot of times, yes.
A lot of times we put our family second, but yet people listen to us just to listen. In a lot of cases, they don't implement what we're trying to teach them or help them with, and then they still crying out about, what can I do?
Well, I'm going to say this. When you reflect back, a lot of times when you're going through something, you're not going through a reflection moment.
Right.
But when you reflect back and you look at your life, you know you didn't go through on your own.
Right.
None of us come in out of the womb knowing anything.
That's right.
So somebody had to pour into you.
Yeah.
Somebody had to mentor to you.
Yes.
Your mother and your father, there was no handbook on how to be a parent.
Nope.
Okay? So a lot of times a teacher, a coach, that neighbor next door, the aunt, the uncle, the great aunt, the great uncle, the grandparent had to mentor to you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take the lessons learned and you give back, and that's all that we're doing,
Yes.
is giving back. A coach, we had the same high school coach.
Gotcha.
Cool time.
Awesome.
Okay? We're a few years apart, but we had the same coach.
And you got the same principles.
No.
We do have a lot of the same principles.
Gotcha.
A lot of the same life principles. But also, we have two different backgrounds. Now, this is the funny thing.
Exactly.
I just met my father last year
Okay.
for the first time.
Okay.
My biological father. Now, the father who raised me, we had some differences. However, I still respected that man. I still respected that man because we came up where you respected your elders.
That's right. Period.
Now, there was no, you didn't say anything back to an adult. Even if they were dead wrong, you didn't say nothing back. You didn't say anything back. So the generational things are different now.
Right.
They're different. Right. So you're looking at a generation where they feel they have the right to talk, and that's fine. And they should have the right. But understand, when you're wrong, even if somebody's wrong, there's a certain reverence that comes with that. So when you're a mentor, and everybody should be somebody's mentor.
Yes.
Everybody should be somebody's mentor, because you have to have a check and balance system if you're planning to go somewhere.
Right.
And if you're not planning to do anything, you're not planning to amount to anything, then you'll just end up being another person standing on the corner doing nothing. And I've seen plenty of that. In my old neighborhood, I can still go to my neighborhood, and there's some folks still walking up and down that were walking up and down when I was 10. Okay? So I say this to say, all the folks that come through the program, they've heard the story about what happened, why I got involved, why I became the police. I became the police because my mom went to jail. Okay? That's why I became the police. Now, they heard that story.
Right.
But I didn't do the opposite and get influenced to do the negative.
Right. So so I want, just so y'all know, my man Andre is spitting some real some real stuff. But go ahead, keep talking.
And the whole point is, what you just hit on, these young people want to hear real. They don't want you to sit up here and tell them a fairy tale, because they can smell fake from 2 miles away.
Right.
And if we don't keep it real with them, they're going to sit here and say just what you said. I see them telling me one thing, but they're doing something else.
Right.
Why should I listen? Why should I believe them?
Hey guys, I need some phone calls. 1-800-450-7876. 1-800-450-7876. Once again, this is the Archie Beslow radio show. Let's figure it out. Your calls are very important to me. They're very important to our community. They're very important to getting solutions and answers to our problems. Like I always tell you guys, it's cool to sit back and listen to me and be entertained by the show and tell me I'm doing a great job. That's cool. But enough of that. I want my show to impact millions across the world. And in order for me to do that, I have to have dialogue, not just with my guests, because my guests are here to give information. We have our answers. The purpose of the show is to give you guys the answers. So I see, brother, do you have something in front of you? You want to share that?
Oh, yeah, we talk about a lot of different things. When we bring in a young man from the streets, a lot of times they haven't had that positive influence. Number one, you haven't seen a black male a lot of times with the suit and the tie on. That's one of the great things we do in our class all the time. We respond to people's gentlemen. Gentlemen, please come in and sit down. We say, sir. We have an opening declaration that says, I'm not going to be your soundbite or your photo opportunity. What we're going to be is we're going to be assertive. We're not going to be so much statistic.
Right.
One of the things we always tell is many an opportunity, heartfelt desire, cherished dream, or paid for blessing has been cast away, run off, avoided, or lost because it arrived disguised as work. Okay. In other words, you're not just going to be handed it. If you want it, you're going to have to work for it.
Gotcha.
You're going to have to work for it. And we were taught, at least my generation back in the days of disco and dinosaurs, you had, if nobody's going to give you anything but a hard way to go.
Right.
And if you get anything different from that, well, consider yourself fortunate because you didn't get that hard way to go.
Right.
And, it's like, it's not what you want. Life is not fair. It's not right. It is what it is. And when you're in charge, you can change things.
That's I love my guests. And the reason why I get quiet a lot of times because it's so rewarding to hear people that are actually giving of themselves to help others. We know that what we do, we're not making six figures.
Oh, right. I know.
We know
anyway. I still want to do that.
Right.
Just to have the largesse, but I understand what you're saying.
So we do. Okay, we have a caller. Who's on the line?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing, man? It's Ben.
Hey, Ben.
How you doing, man?
I used to work with Andre.
Oh, yeah. What's up, partner?
Good man right there. Hey, look. A lot of these, our jails and prisons, are really hospitals. And what I mean by that is the majority of the people find themselves in our community, young, old, whatever, they find themselves in this judicial system. A lot of them either have mental health issues, based on their upbringing and some things that happened, tragedies that happened, or they had physical issues based on, being raised in a situation where they don't have access to proper nutrition and other things.
Right.
So, and sometimes they had both. So, what we have to do, and what we try to do, at least in the agency I work with now, is change that whole philosophy, because you just can't warehouse people, especially our young kids, in cages, and just shove food in their cage 3 times a day, and expect them to come out in the community and be better people and be attributes to the community. That's not going to happen. What you're doing is creating a much worse problem, and that's what we see now. Now something that you brothers are doing with your through your church is a very good thing. But I just want everyone to understand that your community is only as good as your reentry programs that's in these facilities.
Definitely.
Amen.
Right. We agree.
We do.
We
Yes,
agree.
sir.
And without that, you have injury and you're sick and don't even know you are. So
Right.
They are hospitals, and we have to treat them as such. And that's what the community has to demand.
So Ben,
that means a whole different change of philosophy alone.
yes, sir. So my thing, Ben, and you've touched on some very, very key points. You know what I would like to see happen, and I would like for people to merge together, like your returning citizens, along with mentoring programs, along with churches, along with strong adults that's trying to bring change, to try to, like you say, to bring people back into the community, and also to prevent young men and young ladies from going out here and having these same issues. And how you do that, all components, you can always jump in.
Okay.
Yeah, all components can actually work together to prevent the other component for either getting into that situation, or one component can help that component that was locked up to help them transition back into society. What we have in America is a divide.
Yes,
and the divide is holding all of us hostage, Ben.
Actually, you do have a thorough divide. If I may, you have a total divide. Part of my doctoral dissertation was based on prison pipeline, schools to prison pipeline, and the idea is simply this: you won't have a recidivism rate for the returning citizens as long as they have enough resources. And the thing is, the resource, in other words, that's the question you ask: what resources does this individual have when he or she gets out?
Right.
And who's waiting for them when they get out? What will they be exposed to? If you go, chances are, let's face it, you go right back to the same place you were before when you got in trouble before. Chances are you're going back there.
Right.
And now you have a problem wherein you have a group who have prisons for profit.
Yes.
In other words, you have people who are actually making money off people who are going to jail, instead of trying to look at the coin from the other side and say, here is when everybody you're locking up, I always look at it this way, the people that you're locking up, that could be a cure for cancer, a cure for AIDS, a cure for Alzheimer's, a cure for this, that, the other.
Yes.
But you're trying to write them off so you can make some more money by warehousing people in jail. And you're not going to do it to certain people in certain areas. You're only going to do it to a certain group that you think is expendable.
So like I said, this is the Archie Beslow radio show. Let's figure it out. So once again, that's a figuring out moment.
Mm-hmm.
And parents are always asking me, well, I don't know what to do. There are a lot of radio shows and talk shows that's giving you guys advice.
Right.
You hit a very valid point. Like I always tell you guys, I'm old, so I'm thinking I'll be forgetting my thought. But my thing is, you have to have that conversation with our kids about how the government is using the prison system to make money.
Right.
So you got to tell your child, would you rather to incarcerate yourself to help the evil person, or to stay out of incarceration and do right by your family best as you can? My wording may not be but you guys get the gist of where I'm going. We have enough information out here to deter our kids from going the wrong way.
There is, but the issue that you're going to find, the issue that you're going to find is that in the media, sometimes, and I'm not going to try to make the media the bad guy, because the parents should be having the most influence, or the people that around your peers.
The media can only be
as bad as you allow.
jail.
And look at I mean, I'm not trying to put all rappers down, but if all you're going to do is show people doing bad stuff and doing dirt,
right,
and then all of a sudden you're talking about this is what you want to do and you want to be the baddest, this, that, the other.
Right.
No, that's not what you're going to do, because everybody thinks they're going to get away with it, and the jails are full of people who thought they were going to get away with it.
Right.
And see, that's the thing. That's not going to work.
But that's the power. That's the power of control that a lot of adults have relinquished. And Ben, you can chime in too as well anytime you want to, my friend. We're not trying to monopolize the call, but definitely, I have a problem with the adults allowing. We allow a lot.
Right, and that's where it takes a village. When we were younger, Ben, you're right behind me in age. All of us in here about the same age. But when we were younger,
I'm 25.
Right, you may be. But when I remember I stepped out, I did something wrong, and a neighbor called. We didn't even have cell phones. My neighbor had my mother's job number, right? She called her on her job and said, I did something wrong. My mother said, I want you to beat his behind and take him home. Took me home. My uncle was waiting, beat me all the way up the walkway, okay, to the apartment. When my mom got home, I got another beating. That was the last time I did. The one and only time I hooked school. I'm going to say what it was. I hooked school. I hooked school one time only.
Right.
Okay? So a neighbor saw me. He was a cab driver. I got a beating from the neighbor. This is back when parents said, okay, I need your help as a neighbor. Now, let me say this about, I know times have changed. Neighbors don't trust neighbors. Now, in the two communities my children have grown up in, I went and knocked on all the neighbors' doors and told them, look, I work evenings. Before I retired, I work evenings, and I'm expecting if you see my children doing something wrong, you have my permission to correct them. Now, I have very good neighbors in both communities that I have lived in while having my children. My children are all out the house now. But I gave permission to my neighbors because I expect, and they look, their eyes got as big as 50-cent pieces. But they said, really? I said, well, let me tell you this. If I see your children doing something wrong, I'm going to say something to them. Because I would not expect you to sit here and think that I would overlook your children doing something wrong. Because it takes a village.
So we got if
we get away from that,
hold on, my man, I love it. That's that passion. Hey, it's about passion. We're going to come right back after this commercial break, man. WL 95.9 FM, 1450 AM, WLDCnews.com, where information is power. Very passionate conversation. We'll be right back, guys.
I was trying to read what was on the screen.
Because if we don't help one another, you can't do it all by yourself.
You can't be
we're gonna let them.
Yeah, they need to come on in.
So I'm gonna bring you guys back in to close out as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
My man. Yeah, we're gonna bring y'all back in to close out.
Now, I have a thing about Thundercats. They're Thundercats.
I got you.
We only raise Thundercats.
Amen. What's up, champ? You guys good? My man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What you need?
Nah,
give what you get. Give what you get. Give what you need.
I mean, they probably won't need it. You remember
sure?
everything that was on there? Yeah.
All right, I want you guys to introduce yourself to my Facebook friends.
How you doing? Facebook. My name is Brian Madison. Currently at Delaware State, studying criminal justice and minor in business administration.
Outstanding.
How you guys doing? I'm Nigel Garnett. I go to Bowie State University. I major in sports management. And I got a lot of aspirations of being a young entrepreneur.
Outstanding. What high school you guys come from?
I went to Wise High School.
I went to Old Mill.
Old Mill?
Yes,
my
sir.
man. All right. You guys playing any sports?
Not currently.
That's. Did you play any sports in high school?
Oh, yeah.
Football?
Lacrosse, wrestling.
Okay.
I played a little bit of basketball in the summer league, so I don't really count it.
I got you. All right. So that's powerful. So that's going to be one of the things we're gonna talk about when we come back on the air, is just basically what mentoring means to you. Some of the things that your peers, when you're around your peers, that they were doing, that you decided not to do, and why you didn't want to do it.
Right.
You know, and once again, my show is for you guys. My show is not an adult-based show. I really put this show together to help our young men and our young ladies, so you guys can have a platform and a voice to help bring change to society. And that's what it's about. And I thank you for your time. You feel me? And I thank you for what you guys are doing. to me, that post-education thing is very positive. I went to Morgan State. You have to continue to go to school, or you have to get some type of trade, because you have to be competitive in life in order to be successful.
You got to go somewhere.
You got to do something. And the moment you shut down and think that you're done, that's when you fail. And it's not about failing others. That's when you fail yourself.
Right.
We all got one life to live.
Exactly.
You got to live it to you feel me? So what is some of you guys? So what's the thing that you like about your life right now? If you had to edify yourself.
So,
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
What I like about my life is I'm never stable. I'm just keep moving. That's what I learned from the gentleman in the other room. That's what I learned from my parents, even my cousins. You got to keep it moving.
Outstanding. Okay.
You got to keep it moving. Like my parents wanted me to get out of Maryland, and I agree with them. So I'm in Delaware most of the year. So I'm only home, like, other than the summer. I'm only home on breaks for the most part. So I keep it moving, stay in orgs, just trying to be a better person every day. You can't be stable.
What's some of the organizations you're in?
I'm in this organization called Noble. It's a national organization for black law enforcement.
Yeah,
and
we about to come on there. All right. Welcome back to the Archie Beslow Show. Let's figure it out. I'm joined in the studio right now with two dynamic young men. Can you guys introduce yourself, please?
All right, I'm Nigel Garnett. I go to Bowie State University. I major in sports management.
Okay.
My name is Brian Madison. I'm currently a student at Delaware State, majoring in criminal justice and minor in business and administration.
All right. So, hey, let's get into it. I got you guys. So today's show is about the mentoring effect. What mentoring means to you guys. How Men Under Construction actually help you guys to become the guys that you are today. By all means, you can jump in.
So,
yes, sir.
like they said, like they were saying before, they try to give us the real. So, like my uncle said, like us young people, we can spot fake from a mile away, which is completely accurate. So, as I look at a lot of mentor programs, you'll get into a mentoring program and you'll get in there and they'll just be trying to shove certain things down your throat, like, oh, you got to do this or you got to be this. Like, nah, because in reality, when you get outside, half the stuff they teach you is going to go out one ear, out the next in reality. And it's up to you to be a man and conduct yourself a certain way and learn how to conduct yourself, because they can give you all the tools to be a certain way, but it's up to you to utilize them and, create yourself to be a better person or a better man or whatever you're trying to do.
Right.
What makes you hold on to the same words that you're saying, and you guys, you can speak to it as well. What makes you hold on to the information or the advice that a mentor or somebody that's positive in your life is trying to give you? What not makes it go in one ear and come out the other?
You see, when you have a mentor, essentially, the mentor is supposed to be like another parent. So when your parents don't tell you what they want you to hear, they tell you what you need to hear.
Right.
So when you hear what you need to hear, you know the difference.
Amen.
You know what goes out one ear and what goes out the other.
And would you agree that half of that is if an adult actually listened to you to actually figure out what you need to hear?
Yeah, definitely.
You feel me?
Definitely. Because it's important. We may be young, but we know what we need.
Y'all know a lot.
And we definitely know what
Amen.
we want.
Right.
So it's important for us to know what we need to hear, as well as sometimes what we want to hear. But
Go ahead, son. Yes, sir.
So, basically, like you said, I'm really all about keeping it real. So, as far as these mentoring programs go, they have a certain way of doing things normally, and they try to teach you how to do this and be perfect. When in reality, you're not going to be perfect, because you're going to get into society. And out here, like where we're from, the D.C. area, PG County area, you see a lot of different stuff. You get into a lot of different stuff. You meet a lot of different people. So in reality, you're going to see a lot of different stuff. And it's up to you. You make, everyone has their own choice, make their own decisions on what they want to do or how they want to be.
So with me, just because like I said, I'm always jumping in because I'll forget.
Yeah.
So and Coach the Mentor, we don't do perfect. We do respect.
Respect, yeah.
You feel
that's
me?
The number one thing.
So you can teach.
Respect.
It should all be about teaching respect, man.
Definitely respect. And in the program, they taught us stuff like how to dress for a job interview, how to treat a girl when you take her out on a date, or how to sit and eat at a table, or how to conduct yourself in certain areas.
Yes.
they could teach you all of this stuff. Like, I know there was a lot of people in the class with us that I didn't meet. Like they said, they let anybody come in from outside the street. You can be anybody. They'll pull you in to teach you. So you meet a lot of different people within this class. So to me, it's great exposure because you may have came from one background, one social background, or one type of place, but you get to see a whole different light and see, like, dang, he came from this. Like, and I'm complaining about not having this, and he don't got nothing.
Amen.
You see what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it just gives you a whole different viewpoint on different people and their lifestyle.
So if you guys do me a favor, once again, we got two dynamite young men in the studio today. The number is 1-800-450-7876, 1-800-450-7876. The reason why I'm giving the number out at this time, like all the time, is that we need to hear from you. And I'm quite sure that you guys have young men that are out here that you're trying to figure out what you can tell them to help them. Well, now's your time. I got two dynamite young men that are doing the right thing. So you don't look to get it from an adult. you got them. You got two dynamite dudes in here right now that may answer. Well, I know they can answer more questions than I can answer. Again, that number is 1-800-450-7876. So me as a mentor, this is what I'm not even gonna call it challenging anymore, because I love what I do. I mean, I know God has put me on this planet to be a mentor and to bring change. So I'm accepting my challenge. I'm also accepting the challenge to make my mom and dad proud of me, even at the age of 50. I never want to disappoint my mom and dad. So with that alone, so I'm not trying to disappoint God, and I'm not trying to disappoint my mom and my dad. So how can I fail? You
can fail by failing yourself also.
Right.
The first person you fail is yourself. If you fail yourself, you're going to fail everybody else.
Right.
So you got to do for you before you do for anybody else.
Amen.
And of course, always keep God in mind. Always keep your parents in mind. That's
Right.
just respect. That's love.
Amen.
But ultimately, you got to think about what you're going to do because you're going to be doing it for the rest of your life.
And something that in men out of construction they made us do, which might scare a lot of young men, they gave us a paper, and at the top of the paper that says, "This is your obituary." You fill it out.
That's powerful.
You show your whole life. So they go from the age of 20, then 50, and then to now, present. So when you fill that out, I kind of feel like they gave me a totally different outlook on life. Like they always says, no one plans to be, I'm going to be a bum or I'm going to be a loser. No one plans that. So when you sit down and actually plan out your life and look, like, this is what I want to do. I want to be here. And, like, granted, things happen in life. You go through certain stuff. Different things may turn you to a different direction or make you want to do something else. But it's really all about how successful you want to be. Like, if you don't want to fail, you won't fail in reality, because it's just all about your work ethic.
That's so, man. I love talking to our young adults because I learn from you guys. Do we have another call on the line? Man, you guys are inspiration to me. Like this, so with the radio show, how I do mine, I ain't trying to be politically correct. I ain't trying to be perfect. I say and all day long, because at the end of the day, people always don't look for negative. Don't look for, when I leave my radio show, sometimes people would tell me, you should have, don't tell me what I should have done. What did you take from the show to give to somebody else? I'm all right with mine because I'm stepping out.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Right.
So we got a call on the line? Who we got on the line? Caller? Did we lose him? It looked like my man Clarence.
Hello?
Clarence.
Hey, Coach, what's going on?
Man, I love you 10 times 20. I don't know how much that add up to, but you know how we go. What you got, brother Clarence?
I'm sometimes too. I just have a question for the panel. And this affects a lot of young men. How big does peer pressure play a role in the decisions that you young fellas make as y'all walk around every day?
So peer pressure to me, like I've always said, to me, peer pressure, it does exist. Like, some people like to say, peer pressure don't exist. You're your own person. You're going to do this. But if you're in a certain crowd around certain people, you may be pressured into doing some other stuff. Like, peer pressure, and it's just a natural thing in society as a young person. So it's all really up to you how you play the peer pressure thing. Like, somebody can tell you, like, say we in a party, come sip some of this with me, or come do that with me. Like, I mean, of course, like, nobody's perfect. Like, that's what I love about men under construction. They don't try to teach you, oh, you're going to be this perfect man. You can't drink, you can't smoke. Like, no. Like, everyone knows in reality you're going to do all these things eventually in life. So, and that's what they show you. Like, it's all about the decisions you make while doing it. Like, if you know you're intoxicated or you're underage to be intoxicated, don't put yourself in a position to be reprimanded by authorities if you're, like, under the influence or intoxicated. Like, you should just know how to really, to me, it's all about know how to play your role, know how to move, and know how to move.
Okay.
I agree with Nigel. Peer pressure is definitely real, but it's pressure. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. It's up to you to make the right decisions. It's up to you to do what you know. It's up to you to do the right thing. Like Nigel said, you at a party, this, that, and the third happened, but you got to realize they not you and you not them. They parents not your parents. That's what my father always told me. You my son. You my son.
Right.
They not my son.
Right.
So you got to make it home.
And what they need, and that's what we all need to know. It's all about being the best us we can be.
Exactly.
And failure is not a part of it. I have friends that were homeless, man, that was sleeping in cars. You have entertainers that was homeless, sleeping in cars. You got kids that lost their mom and dad when they were infants. They are very successful. You know what I mean? You got people that have been abused. You got people that's been, I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. We can't lean on our excuses.
Right.
We got to find something in our hearts to be great. Exactly. Like you said, be great for yourself first. And if you can't find it in yourself to be great for yourself, be great for someone else to help. Because I'm a giving dude. You feel me? It's all about giving. With me, I'm going to continue to give. And it's people like yourself, Clarence. And I appreciate you calling in every week. Because what I'm not going to do is, I'm not real talk. I'm not going to beg people to be a part of this movement. Because the movement is real. You feel me? And it's like I got these dynamite young men in here today. They get it. And then I got the two gentlemen from Men Under Construction. They get it because they're doing it.
Exactly.
So we're going to take, huh?
You got a break?
Yeah, because you know we got a break. I don't like these breaks. But we got to pay that bill. But
I want to hold on. I just have one more.
Nah, man, you my dude, Slim. You can stay on. You might wind up being a co-host, Slim. You feel me? But real talk, man. I appreciate you guys, man. You know, keep doing what you're doing and continue to have these conversations with your peers, man. Both young men and young ladies. You feel me? All right, man. Hey, this is the Archie Beslow radio show. Let's figure it out. I just want to thank God, man. God, thank you for giving me the platform to give back. We'll be back after these commercials. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, real talk, man. Hey, it ain't over. Y'all got my card. You know how I do it. Whenever y'all in town, like a Sunday, give Coach Archie a call. I said, Coach, I got something on my mind I want to talk about. I want to bring to your show.
Right.
So like I said, once again, this show is set up for you guys. So if you're in town, give me a call. If there's a topic you want to talk about, call me.
Right.
Let's do it.
Of course.
All right.
You got your call.
All right, baby. I can't dap up enough.
Right.
That's that love,
That's
Joe. That's that love, Joe.
Of course.
Yeah. Before we go, we gonna we gotta definitely take a picture together, man.
Yeah.
We gotta So for me, like I have 4 sons of my own.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And my sons are successful. You know, 3 of them in college. With Darius just graduated from Morgan State, and I got my 2 youngest in college, and Archie, the oldest, he works for the post office. And a lot of adults don't like saying that their kids are their friends. Well, my sons are my best friends, and they don't need to know that I'm their dad.
Right.
They know that I'm their dad by what their dad does. Right. So I don't have to say that I'm their dad. I don't have to co-sign that.
Right.
But what I want them to know is that I'm your dude.
Right.
And there's nothing that you can't share with me. So my sons, man, they call me about anything. From smoking weed the first time. From drinking.
Right.
I ain't judging them.
And that's real. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people try to shun people like, oh, you getting high? Like, nah, everybody, it's life. You see what I'm saying? No one judge y'all what y'all did back in y'all day, whatever it was. It may not have been weed or whatever.
You did something.
You did something, like, regardless.
And I ain't bragging. I think I turned out all right.
Right.
It ain't.
It's really up to you whether you gonna stay where you at.
Come on, man.
It's really how
Or
you
you
control
gonna keep
it.
it moving?
Yeah, you
Because
gonna keep
I
it
know
moving.
we both got friends who still here,
Yep.
still doing the same
thing.
hanging with the same people from high school,
Same thing.
who also doing the same thing, working
Yes.
in the same place,
Right.
at
Yeah,
some
Growing stagnant.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Just
really
there.
been my whole thing. Like, I just don't want to be. Like, I was talking to my mom the other night, and my father was just like, yeah, like, we was talking about the whole school situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, yeah, I just don't want to be, like, it's not really about school. Like, say I decide one day I don't want to be in school no more.
Right. That's your
Like,
choice.
it's my choice. Like, my mother told me, like, I know, she told me, I know you can do whatever you want
There
to
you
do.
go. That's what I told my son to graduate from Morgan. So Darius went to Morgan,
Right.
and out of my sons, I didn't think Darius was a college material.
And
But look what he did. It's not that I didn't believe in him, but just based off of the interaction he and I had.
Right.
Now, truth be told, his mom played a very important role into motivating him so that he can continue with school.
Right.
And this past December, my son graduated with accounting.
Congratulations to him.
You feel me?
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, and is it needed? Yeah, it's needed. Is the college degree is needed, or trade school is needed?
Something.
Unless you're your own entrepreneur, you got this
like,
great.
but I feel
creative-
like, my personal belief on school is, as far as like you said, trade school and college needed. I don't feel that way, and that's just me. Like,
That's fine,
because
yeah.
you can, if you got a mindset like I want to do this, you can do anything.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So long as you put yourself in the correct positions.
Okay, I'm here talking to the guys, man. Look, Tiny, my engineer, she doing jumping jacks in the studio trying to get my attention. But I get it. Yeah, but like y'all know me, I'm just I just love our youngins, man. I love I said youngins. I'm from Southeast. That's how I told them. I made my youngins. And I love my youngins, both young men and young ladies. Wow. The guys on Facebook, you guys heard our conversation. The guys was, the young man was really enlightening me with a lot of stuff. So this is what I want to know. And I want each one of you guys to, if you had something profound, and we're going to do it like this, we're going to break it down. What profound message can you give a young man? And I want both of you guys to do that. Then we're going to give the message you can give a young lady.
Okay.
What profound message can you give based off your experience?
Profound message you can give a young man is just to stay focused, never really, I know this is cliche, stay focused, never give up, but that is really something you can live by because, it's a lot of distractions out here. So for a young man, you may be 19, 20 out here, okay, you got on one hand, you in school, so say you in school, boom, your friend's doing this, let me go hang with my guys, or let me go hang with this girl, let me go do this with this girl. But you really just got to know how to put everything into perspective. Like, as long as you, I don't have no problem. Like I told my father all the time, I go hang out and do that. But I feel like as long as you are focused on what you're doing, what your main goal is and how you're trying to be successful and how you're trying to make yourself have a better life, as long as you're focused on that, I don't see any other problem with distractions. As long as you, not really distractions, but outside things from distracting you from where you want to get to. Basically.
So as a young man, what would you tell a young lady?
A young lady, I would just tell her, stay focused. Same thing. It applies to young ladies because really, to me, it's harder for young ladies in society.
Give me a drop the mic message to a young lady. Give me.
Hey, tighten up. That's what I would say to these
Amen.
young ladies, for real. Don't fold because there's a lot of distractions out here for young ladies. They got guys getting into the air. Oh, I'm gonna do this for you,
Amen.
or do that for you. But as long as I feel like I really find myself, the older I got, I'm more attracted to ambitious young ladies.
Amen.
Whereas more so in high school and middle school, I was more so focused on, oh, she look good. Forget about what she thinking about, or what she got, what she trying to do. But now I find myself I look at a girl and I start talking to her what you doing? You in school, you got a business,
Respect.
you working, that's what I'm really
Because you
focused
value
on.
yourself.
Yes, I value myself.
You got to value
yeah.
yourself.
And I'm not gonna take you home to meet my mom, and my mom what you do?
Repeat.
You don't got nothing to say.
No. On the Archie Beslow radio show, we do this thing called repeat that. Repeat that.
I'm not gonna take you home to my mom's if you don't got nothing going on for yourself.
Come on, man.
That's real, man.
Give me a profound message. Clarence, I got you on the air, Clarence. Let my brother speak a little bit.
I'm gonna get a message to the men and the women out there. My message is you are the master of your own abilities.
Amen.
That's real. You gonna decide what you gonna do. Of course, there's God in the picture, but at the end of the day, nobody else can tell you what you want to do, what you gonna do, but you.
Amen.
And you gotta understand, you working for yourself, you working for God. Those are the only two people you gotta worry about at the end of the day.
That's a motivation in itself.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what men of construction taught us. They taught us how to be good men. We being good men for ourselves. We being good men for our families. We being good men for God.
So now I got a daughter. What should my daughter look for? If I had a daughter, I got sons, but what would you? If I wanted you to talk to my daughter because I just love the man you become, what advice would you give my daughter? And you're not going to date my daughter, but I just respect the fact. Right. You feel me?
See, your daughter, I tell her, you know, stay focused. Like Nigel said, you got to be your own person. Don't follow the crowd. Don't follow whoever else. You got to think about what you going to do in life because nobody going to help you but you. Amen. At the end of the day, nobody going to be on your side but you. Right. That's what's real.
Go ahead, Nigel.
Yeah, and another thing I want to let everybody know that's tuned in, we not on here, you know, like faking to be these perfect individuals. Like everybody has their flaws. Like we're young men in society. We're 19. You know what normal 19-year-olds get into, or normal college students get into. Like we're not flaunting up here like, oh, we these perfect guys, come be like us. Like no, that's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is show other young black males that, you know, you could be successful without being I don't see nothing wrong with rappers at all, right. But it just seems like within our generation, everybody wants to be a rapper. Everybody trying to get with. Everybody trying to trap. Everybody want to do that. Like, yeah. And then there's a lot of people that don't even come from that background. Like, didn't even come from sell drugs, but they get into that lifestyle just because of what they see, because it's being glorified right now. Right. I don't have a problem with people that came from that at all either, because some people really came from that. They didn't know nothing else, so that's how they made it out. They used that to get out.
Yeah, you're looking at one.
Right. So you get out. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like, it's all about, like we said, it's all about what you want to do for yourself. Like, to me, you learn your best lessons from pain.
Right.
You don't learn it from...
What don't kill you make you
Exactly. Stronger. You don't learn it from, sunny days, everything's good. You don't learn no lesson from that, because that's not putting you through nothing.
Man. Brother Clarence, go ahead, man. Y'all know you sitting back, reclining like me, man. Listen to these guys talk, man. Yeah, what you got for my young man, Clarence?
They kind of touched on one question about the music, but my other question is, kind of going to hit closer to home as far as us as men. I'm talking you and me, Coach.
Yes, sir.
To the young men, what are some examples y'all need to see from us, meaning myself and Coach Archie, that could help y'all strive to do better things in society?
Powerful. I hope my listeners listening to this.
Some examples, I have to say, if you fall down, I need to see you get up. Because if you fall down, you can't get up. How am I supposed to get up? I'm looking up to you. As a mentor, as a parent, as, you know, fathers and whatever the case may be. If you fall down, you can't get up. And I'm looking at you. How am I supposed to fall down to get back up?
Amen.
Right. And also from, you know, you, like everybody says, you learn from what you see from the age. You know, a lot of people like to say 5 and up. So you watch, whoever raised you, you normally watch them. So I feel as though, as fathers in the community, you should set the perfect example for your son. Like he said, if you fall down, I need to see you get up. So if, say, something happens within your house, so say mom's lost her job and then, you know, dad got to take over, get another job. Like, I watched my father go work 2 jobs. Like, I didn't want him doing that. Because I was 18 when I watched him do it. I watched my father go work 2 jobs every day due to, you know, what was going on in the household. That taught me as a young man, my father always told me, I'm the man in the house. I got to make sure everything's good. So that just showed me as a young man, say I was to grow up in the same situation happened. I was already showed the right thing to do is to go work hard and make sure everything's good, make sure my family's good. No matter how tired I am, I don't want to do that, but it's about making sure my family's good at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So as men, we really should look at each other and, instead of putting each other down, you a loser, you doing this, you not doing nothing, we should really try to bring one another up. I know that's cliche too, because that's not really that's not really. Of course, things get different once you out here in the streets or wherever you at.
So you guys are hearing this from 19-year-old college kids, and the reason why I say that is they're not far from a 19-year-old kid is not far from a 50-year-old man, and I say this we're beyond those days of if you're 50. You know more than a 19-year-old. Exactly. I'm the first person to tell you that I listen to everybody.
Right.
I listen to 5-year-old kids.
Right.
I listen to people that are gay. I listen to dudes that's been locked up. I listen to murderers. I listen because
And you might.
come on, man, you
might
feel
learn
me?
more from them.
I'm gonna learn,
Right, because they've been in jail, reading books, like doing whatever. Like I've had friends that have went to jail, came out, and I've talked to them, and they gave me a whole different outlook on life in general. Just because they felt like they was, in a hole, like couldn't get out of it. They was by themselves.
We got to stop being so trapped in our mindset that we have to listen. There are times when people would talk. All my life, I've just listened to people talk to me.
Right.
For a long time. You could be a kid to an adult. Right. Where other people would tune them out. Clarence, I'm not a tuning out type of guy. Because if what I'm listening for, I don't hear it right away, I'm going to wait on it. Because I know that person has something to give to me to help me grow.
And something like you said, I feel like I'm like you. I've never been a tune out type person like Deacon Cornegate, Dr. Cornegate,
Amen.
The leader of Men Under Construction. Like some people like to say, oh, well, he talks a lot. Well, every time I listen to him talk, I feel like every time, like just when we were sitting out there waiting to do this show, every time I listen to him talk, I feel like I learned something new. Just because he's educated himself to a point where he always has something, no matter what the topic is, he always has something to say that is, will give you a whole different viewpoint on it.
Right. All right, what you got for him, Brother Clarence? We got to wrap it up here.
Okay, I'm getting off the line. I just challenged you two young men. One thing for me.
Here we go.
I want you to speak to all the brothers and young men in your age group. Just speak. How you doing, brother? How you doing? How is everything going with you?
That's powerful.
Start practicing forming conversations with your peers that you don't know.
Amen.
And the reason for that is it's a lot of undue animosity when you walk past somebody your age you don't know, and he stare at you like you have the intentions of doing them harm.
Right.
So that's one thing we gotta tear down that wall and just speak to your peers that's your age.
But that's my cue, Slim.
And I'm gone.
I love you like a brother, Chad. All right, baby.
I'm going to tune in.
Amen.
All right.
Hey, once again, thank you for another successful, positive, uplifting show on the Archie Beslow radio show, Let's Figure It Out. From this station, WL 95.9, FM 1450 AM, WLDCnews.com, where information is power. Yes, this is the Archie Beslow radio show, Let's Figure It Out. And my man Butch McAdams is coming up next, Dynamite Brother. Once again, I thank God, I thank y'all. I'm just thankful. See y'all next week. All right.